call you now.
Okay, so we're gonna place this Skype call. And when it goes through, Mitchell will be able to see Mitchell and Emily on this big screen. And they'll be able to see me a little bit and the rest of us. Thanks to Stu here. Stu is doing the live connection. And David here is doing filming and recording this for posterity.
Wonderful.
So,
Okay. I can see that you up there.
This is the top of my head.
Hold on. No, that we're looking.
Keep telling it.
Okay, Lord, please give me one more day. Not much to ask, but it rhymes with pray. Every day could be my last, enjoying well before it's past. Sometimes I feel a shred of fear. I let it go, because you are near, blessing me from up above, these precious hours with those I love.
Thank you.
I'm coming right back. So,
You're ready.
we're ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody get a copy of...
Get in the picture, Emily.
Mitchell, I'm just going to show you the whole room here, okay?
There's, out there, yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Emily.
Hey.
Hi, Nick.
Mitch, did you
Okay.
lose your razor? Who said that?
Hey, Louise.
Hi.
Louise and Feller here?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
So, Emily and Mitchell, I think we're ready to start. And we'll start with Bim Bam. Bim
Bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom.
Okay, we have a number of people who are new to some of us anyway, and I think it would be good if we just went around the room and said our names, and you could just say briefly how you know Mitchell and Emily. So we're going to start over here.
Well, I know Mitch from the synagogue, basically, and from all circuses that existed here, because we always went together to circus. We loved
Say your
it.
name.
Yeah.
Say your name.
My name is not for publication.
It's Baruch. Okay.
Now you can go to further.
Trying to make the sound louder. Okay. Next.
Hello, this is Joan Ward. So good to see you. I met you here, and I will see you again here.
Okay.
Hi, it's Linda Samuels. I know you from before you moved here, right? I knew your parents. I knew your parents, and then I met you. And it's been a lovely time knowing you because you're both so smart and interesting to talk to. So, shalom.
Shabbat shalom. I'm Teresa, and I've known Mitchell and Emily since many, many years ago at the synagogue, and then really got to know them when they were loving and kind and picked me up out of the hospital one day and brought me home, which was totally unexpected.
Aw.
And they have been loving friends ever since. I miss you terribly.
Okay.
I'm Jan Lustig, and I know both of them through the Chavurah and through the temple. Good to see both of you.
Hi guys, I'm Louise, and I wish you were here. I first got to know you through the temple, and then Mitch helped me out with some therapy. But you know, I knew his father from when I was a very young woman here, and he helped me in a time when I was having a lot of trouble with his wisdom. So I've been blessed by you and your family for a long time.
Yes, your dad even helped her with water. So I'm Rabbi Phil, and I've had the pleasure of knowing you for quite a while, and had the honor of being your parents' rabbi, your fun parents, interesting, dynamic people that they were, and it's been a pleasure to continue to know you over the years, and to see you here, and you in San Diego. Thank God, not Houston.
Hi, I'm Sheila Turner. I know Mitchell. Oh, do I know Mitchell? I know him from the synagogue, from the Chavurah, from the synagogue, from the cemetery committee, and last but not least, from Diane Tippis, who has a letter for you which will be read later. And I read it first, and it's a very wonderful letter.
Hi, Sheila.
Hi, this is Nancy Feldman, and you guys look terrific. You know, Mitchell looks like a rabbi.
And a cowboy hat?
Why not? You're learned, right? Yeah. What I'll talk about later is Mitchell and myself and Donna Pluck, and we're very unusual because we're the kids of parents who moved here first. And so we've been very close, the four of us with my husband Jerry, trying to figure out how to bury people and what to do, you know, in the last days, etc., etc. And I want you to know that I've been out there to the cemetery a couple times, and my husband's grave shrunk 3 feet. And they said that you were in charge.
It was his fault.
No, we've had so much rain.
Yes.
We've just
I
had
think
so
he had a
much rain.
sinkhole. I think there was a sinkhole.
Yeah, and Gil's grave went down too a little bit. So we're gonna fix it, don't worry.
Okay.
I hope to see you back here, because Jerry's unveiling is gonna be in October. Okay.
Let's move up here.
Hello there, Joe Gottesman. I know you both from the synagogue, and we're neighbors and good friends, and I wish you the best, and we'll see you back here soon.
Thanks,
Hi, I'm Carol Kaufman, and I recognize you, but I'm a little bit new here, so if I recognize you, it would be from the synagogue, and I'm happy to be part of this event and celebration.
Hi, Carol. We met you registering people to vote.
That's right. Thank you for remembering. Right on.
That's cool.
I'm David Rosette, and I've known you both from the synagogue, and I'm happy to be here as part of this.
Hi, Michael Zimmerman. I know you guys from the synagogue. This is a wonderful occasion, and looking forward to you guys coming back.
Hi guys, so I know you both and I love you both, so and I met you because the life put us together to work. So I work, Mitchell worked in a time for Wellness Center for Respiro, and he was working like a team, and he was my teacher in a lot of things, and I think he's still doing very well. So I want to hug you and send you a big blessing for support you. And I hope that you come back and come and see us very soon, please. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
You'll have to speak up louder because you're back there if they can hear you.
Hi, Mitchell, Emily, it's Leanne, and of course I know you from the synagogue and the Havurah, and I'm glad you're wearing your cowboy hat. I know you miss your horses.
Hello, Mitchell and Emily. My name is Brian. I'm a husband to Brian Kaplan, who's doing the service tonight, so I'm a guest and very honored to be here.
Nice to meet you finally.
Hi,
Oh, hi, I'm Ann. I know you. Welcome to my home. God, this is too good. Too much, too wonderful to see you both.
Mel Goldberg here. I know you from the synagogue and other areas. Get back here soon.
I'm Tada, and I know you when you first came. It was a party in Helena's house, and we talked for the first time. And I remember especially how much Mitchell helped me to do the voting last year. Not that it made any difference, but I did want to vote, and without Mitchell I could have never done it. He had an incredible patience and helped and helped and helped. Mitchell, you're a great man. Yes, shalom.
Shalom.
Hi, Mitchell and Emily. Lois Cugini here. We have lots of memories. And lots of laughs. And when I think of you both, I do laugh a lot. And can't wait to see you. Love you.
Thank you, Lois.
Hello, it's Marilyn. I'm your neighbor, remember? Your neighbor is missing you here. You have to come back. All is good at the house. The plants are doing good. The orchids are doing okay. And I've known them as my neighbor for the last 14 years. I know Mitchell's parents were my neighbors. And now I'm neighbor with Mitchell and Emily. They're my best neighbors. I love you guys.
Love you, Marilyn. Love you, Marilyn.
Thank you.
Hi, Mitchell. Hi, Emily. I want to be seeing you back here again. I hope you're already planning your packing. I know you through Larry. Larry knows you through Havurah Synagogue. And we both know you through Sandwiches Ranch. So send my love.
Charlie?
Hi, Charlie K. I have some raffle tickets for you.
So what else is new?
The raffle was last Saturday, so the tickets are very inexpensive today. I love you both tremendously and welcome you to come back home.
They didn't hear him, and it's breaking up.
That's the internet. There's nothing we can do about that.
We can hear you now.
Okay.
Howard
Do it
Rogers
again.
here.
Do it again.
We haven't known each other that long, but we sure have had a lot of fun and good times together. Come on back soon.
Okay. One more. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I got you.
Mitch, sorry.
You know what, Mitchell? You can tell what he's thinking. He's sending a love.
Hey Mitchell and Emily, I'm the other Brian. I think you met my husband on the other side of the room. I met Emily at the Havurah. I'm Elizabeth's sidekick tonight, and hope to see you guys down here soon. We are the Arizona Sunbirds. We're escaping the heat.
Good to see you, Brian.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone. Those were wonderful, powerful introductions. So I thought on this really special occasion.
Watch the
Okay.
wires, and if you can stand over there, that'd be perfect. That way I can see you.
We have somebody here.
One more person here.
One more person here. Let's see. Oh, we can't hear you.
Let's not screw it up.
I didn't screw anything up.
Hi.
Oh, here we are. All right. Hi, everyone. Lovely
Hi.
to see you all. You're so lovely. My name is Mary Cricky. I'm a volunteer with the hospice. I'm a patient care volunteer, and I'm also a Reiki master. And I've been honored to do Reiki and aromatherapy with Mitchell and Emily. And they invited me here to be with you all and have this lovely service. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think this is an appropriate time to do a Shehekiyanu, to give thanks for the fact that we've all lived to this moment to be together here and to be together with Emily and Mitchell. And I need the name of your volunteer again. No?
Mary.
Mary. Okay. So we can do this seated. It's right on page 1, about halfway down the page. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'hiyamanu v'hiyamanu b'zman hazeh. We praise the eternal source of life, who grants us life, sustains us, and brings us together at this moment. And now, this is the first occasion when I'm going to ask people to rise. But for some people, getting up and down and standing can be a bit of a problem. So if that's true for you, don't be attempting it when other people rise. Just keep your seat, it's perfectly fine. We hear you, God hears you, they hear you, whether you're seated or standing. And we'll...
You should get in back of you. We're going to move away from that. You can move in front. So
And we link arms, and we'll sing Hine Matov.
Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
Oh, thank you. That just sounded beautiful. So be seated, please, and we'll read together something called Here. When the world is about to crush me with all its weight, I find safety here. When people have meant to rule because of their ignorance, I find compassion here. When others try to silence me, I find my voice here. When I feel a sense of helplessness during these uncertain times, I find peace here. When I am lost and tossed about in day-to-day activity, I find direction here. When loneliness slowly creeps into my life like the evening mist, I find community here. When I feel isolated at times, I find comfort here. When friends seem nowhere to be found in the daily grind, I find good friends here. When I sometimes lose sight of what I can do for the community, I find purpose here. When I feel that my family is scattered thousands of miles away, I find the nearness of family here. When the cacophony outside is too much and I need to be soothed, I find beautiful music here. When I run around and take the simple things for granted, I find meaning here. When I am gone, and death will remain, I know that I will be remembered here. So at this point, I'd like to ask Anne, our hostess, to come and light the Shabbat candles. Anne tells me that these candlesticks belonged to her grandmother, and they came from Vilna in Lithuania. They're 19th century candlesticks. So before she lights the lights, we'll read together. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our lives, be among those who kindle light. Time out. And we say together, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu b'hadmer shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who calls us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Thank you. And again, I'm going to ask you to stand, if you're able, if it's comfortable for you, for the Baruch Hu. Okay.
Don't get so close to this candle.
All right. And Brian, can you lead us
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Voed.
So that is the praise God, to whom our praise is due. Praise God, to whom our praise is due now and forever. And if we'll remain standing, I'm going to ask David Rosette, who's right up here.
Okay. Would you like me to read the paragraph before it that you have in English on the bottom, or are you going to read it?
How about I'll go ahead and do that, and then you can.
Okay.
So why do we cover our eyes when we recite the Shema? The gesture reminds us that our hands must do what our eyes envision. Our values govern our conduct, our principles direct our actions, and our programs must be carried out by our hands.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shemo Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Thank you so much, David. You can be seated again. We're now just at the bottom of page 3, and the transliteration for the Hebrew is actually on page 4. And Brian will.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat Ledoratam Berit Olam B'nei Uvein b'nei Yisrael Odi Leolam Odi Leolam Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat Ledoratam Berit Olam Ki Sheshet Yamim Asa Adonai
Israel et HaShabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתו. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתו.
Okay, once more we're going to rise. We're going to rise for the Amidah. The Amidah is the central part of the Shabbat service. It's a standing prayer. It gives us the opportunity to pray individually while in the midst of our community. Traditionally, this is a set prayer with a lot of different parts to it, but this evening we're just going to pray from whatever is in your heart, silently. If you silently want to go through the whole thing, that's fine. When you finish praying, if you'll sit down again, and when everybody's seated, then we'll know to move on. But we'll start, if you all, if you rise, by singing the invocation, actually not in English.
Adonai sefai titam uvia gita hilotecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory.
Okay, we'll say shalom.
Say shalom bimramav, say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, say shalom. Shalom Aleinu, Ya'akov Yisrael. Yah say shalom. Yah say shalom. Shalom Aleinu, Ya'akov Yisrael. V'imru amen.
Okay, thank you. I am just going to give a very, very short Devar Torah on the Torah portion. The Torah portion for this week is Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 10 through 25, verse 19. My idea for this Devar Torah came from Rabbi Shira Milgram, and I'm indebted to her for her insights on this portion. She focused, and I want to focus on the very last paragraph of this Torah portion. And it reads, "Remember what Amalek did to you on your journey after you left Egypt. How, undeterred by fear of God, he surprised you on the march when you were famished and weary, and cut down all the stragglers in your rear. Therefore, when the Eternal your God grants you safety from all your enemies around you, in the land that the Eternal your God is giving you as a hereditary portion, you shall blot out the memory of Amalek from under heaven. Do not forget." Wow. What do you think? In practically the same breath, you shall blot out the memory of Amalek. Do not forget. So, Rabbi Milgram, when commenting on this, says she was present at a Yom Kippur service many years ago when a Rabbi Harold Schulweiss asked his congregation if they could name members of Hitler's SS. The names came pouring out from all corners of the sanctuary. Himmler, Eichmann, Göring, and so on. And then Rabbi Schulweiss asked the community to name the people who tried to save Anne Frank and her family. Not a word. Nobody knew a name. So what we can draw from this is the thought that forgetting and remembering are complicated. It's not simple. We've learned now from neuroscience that we participate in creating our reality. Our experiences and the way we think about them, our insights and our reflections, actually change the neural connections that make up our brains. According to the writer Diane Ackerman, quote, "In the end, what we pay the most attention to defines us. How we choose to spend the irreplaceable hours of our lives literally transforms us." So we can say we are what we remember, but we can choose what we remember. And a lesson that we can draw from this is by remembering, we can transform our pain into empathy, our fear into courage, and our mourning into joy. We need to remember when we were vulnerable and afraid, so that we fill our world with healing and blessing. And we've come together today to draw on those moments of vulnerability and pain that we have felt ourselves, to give healing and blessing for Mitchell and Emily. And I want to tell you, early on in the process of talking about this gathering, and considering everything that Mitchell and Emily have been going through, they said to me, "Oh, don't forget that Bruce Brodsky has just had a second amputation. And don't forget that Judy Roloff has just had a couple of strokes. they've remembered other people, and typical of them. And we're remembering today, especially them, but also others.
And please remember Houston.
And please
I
remember
want you to
Houston.
know that our sun is high and dry.
Ah.
Got full of water, telephone, and electricity. And he is not, fortunately, yet suffering from the tragedy of Houston.
Okay, thank you so much, Chad. So, before we do the Misha Barak, I want to go around the room, and we know we're sending healing and blessing to Mitchell and Emily, but I'm sure there are many other people, as they mentioned, Bruce Brodsky, Judy Roloff, and I'll give you a chance to mention any names that you want.
I would like to remember Matteo Pellegrina, who is a member of the synagogue and who is very ill.
I would like to remember Donna Susnick and love to Michael and family.
Pearl Dreiser.
I was going to say Pearl as well.
Okay.
Barbara George, who is a very dear friend of mine.
Roberta Schneider, who's just finishing his chemotherapy.
Christina Gabura. She's in Houston.
Jim Tipton.
Larry? No?
Fine.
David?
My mother-in-law, Maria del Consuelo.
Mike Gable, people of Houston.
I want to remember my sister that just had a surgery. She had good cancer in February, was diagnosed, and she had a femoral replacement. Now she's in the second chemo, and she's taking like a big Buddha because she loses the hair. I want to remember her.
Thank you.
I want to remember my daughter Anna Soul.
I was going to mention Anna Soul as well.
And I wanted to mention Keithy K.
Okay, okay. Stu, David, anybody that you know in need of healing?
Do you have anyone in need of healing?
My niece, Ariana Urrea.
Ariana Orea?
Okay.
May Hashem comfort the families of Houston that suffered loss.
I'd just like
to remember Jane Payette.
Okay. All right, thank you. Well, let's sing the Misha Barak, which is found on page 5.
Misha Barak Avotenu Mekor Haraha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Barak Imotenu Mekor Haraha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah Shema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Thank you all. Now, this is the point at which individuals who want to sing or read a poem or a quotation or just speak from their hearts directly to Mitchell and Emily. This is a chance to do it. I'd like to just go around the room. I know, Jan, you've asked to be late kind of in this process, so we'll skip over you. And then after we do that, if it's okay with you, Mitchell and Emily, will be, whoa.
Why?
Oh, you're okay.
Okay. It'll be your opportunity. I know, Mitchell, you have some things to say. And Emily, that you want to read a psalm. Does that sound okay? As a procedure?
Mitch looks very, very tired.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
It's fine, Elizabeth.
It's fine? Good.
Yes.
Okay.
What? No.
No. And remember, the cameras and the mics are right over here.
The camera is there. I would like to sing my knowledge and so on of poetry is very limited, so I do much better when I set things to melody. So, see if I can find a key here. There's a land beyond the river that they call the sweet forever, and we all shall reach that shore by faith's decree. One by one we'll gain the portal, there to dwell with the immortal. When they ring the golden bells for you and me, don't you hear the bells a-ringing? Can't you hear the angels singing? 'Tis a glory, hallelujah, jubilee. In that far-off sweet forever, just beyond the shining river, when they ring the golden bells for you and me. When our days shall know their number, and in death we sweetly slumber, and the King commands the spirit to be free, nevermore with anguish laden we shall reach that joyful haven. When they ring the golden bells for you and me, don't you hear the bells a-ringing? Can't you hear the angels singing? 'Tis a glory, hallelujah, jubilee. In that far-off sweet forever, just beyond the shining river, when they ring the golden bells for you and me. Wow.
I think Rabbi Phil, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I recently discovered in the new Reformed Rabbi's Manual, I thought a beautiful prayer about thanking God for life and for the reality of illness that I thought I would read to Mitch and Emily. It begins, "We are grateful, O God, for the gift of life and the sustaining powers that you, O Lord, have implanted within all your creatures. Be with Mitch and Emily through the days, the months of years of illness. Implant with them the courage and the fortitude that they will need to endure the times of difficulty, the loss of memories, and the pain that Mitch has already had to endure. Help us, Mitch's family and friends, to continue to find ways to show our love and concern for them, so that we may be an influence for good in their time of need. Be mindful of the fact, by the way, I'm adding, that Mitch has brought the Havurah and the synagogue together out of love and concern for them. May all others who suffer illness of body and mind know that we are in partnership with the divine, hoping for their strength of spirit, as they also, Mateo and all the other people that we've mentioned, deal with their suffering and hopefully their recovery. May their afflictions soon be ended, and may they return, should they choose to health and shalom, to family and friends. And we add, Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei HaShalom, blessed art thou, O Lord, healer of peace and healing. Mitch and Emily, as sad as we are to be here, on this occasion, conscious of your illness and what the two of you are going through, I think we are all grateful that even though there's suffering, there's love that has brought people together to say how much they love and care about you. Amen.
Thank you so
For myself, you know, I wish you only beauty, peace, and goodness. And I just love you, the two of you. And I'm sad that we're here today for this reason, but I'm so happy to see that you two are still enjoying yourselves. I would like to read Thoughts for Mitchell and Emily from Diane Pincus. Dear Mitchell and Emily, Tom and I think of you both every day since Mitchell became ill. You have been such good and jolly friends to us since we arrived in Ahihik 10 years ago. We met at a Shabbat dinner at the synagogue, but we didn't really meet. We re-met. I realized that the name Mitchell Perry was reminiscent of my childhood friend, who actually sent me 16 Valentines one year in elementary school. So with Tom's encouragement, I went up to you both and asked with a smile if you could possibly be the Mitchell Perry who sent me 16 Valentines in elementary school. Mitch, your response after asking me for my maiden name was to say, in the 4th grade. From that moment on, Tom and I, and you and Emily, became fast friends. You never failed to pick us up within days of our arrival in El Parque, to take us in your truck to Costco in Guadalajara. We actually had fun all shopping together and sharing our paper towels and buying enough steak to plan our dinners together. You took our grandchildren horseback riding, and you chauffeured our nephew and family around when they visited while we were away. Your constant open-heartedness and your affection have meant the world to us. We are relieved that in this time of trouble for you, that you feel comforted by all the support you're receiving, and that you feel spiritually prepared for whatever is before you. We love you both very much, and if there is anything we can do for either of you, we are here. Your friend since 4th grade, sending at least the equivalent of 100 Valentines, Diane and Tom.
Jan? Are you gonna read the poem?
Oh, I will at some point.
Stu? Come on, Bill.
My turn.
Let's let Michael do and then we'll
Okay.
Speak to the computer.
I coincidentally received a poem from my favorite poetess, Mary Oliver, just the other day. And the name of the poem is When Death Comes. When death comes like the hungry bear in autumn, when death comes and takes all the bright coins from his purse to buy me and snaps the purse shut. When death comes like the mesopox. When death comes like an iceberg between the shoulder blades. I want to step through the door full of curiosity, wondering, what is it going to be like, that cottage of darkness? And therefore I look upon everything as a brotherhood and a sisterhood, and I look upon time as no more than an idea, and I consider eternity as another possibility. And I think of each life as a flower, as common as the field daisy, and as singular, and each name a comfortable music in the mouth, tending, as all music does, towards silence. And each body a lion of courage and something precious to the earth. When it's over, I want to say all my life I was a bride, married to amazement. I was a bridegroom taking the world into my arms. When it's over, I don't want to wonder if I have made my life something particular and real. I don't want to find myself sighing and frightened or full of argument. I don't want to end up simply having visited this world.
Very beautiful.
Okay. Mine isn't so beautiful. But do you remember Marty Parker? Parker Insurance?
If you look in the camera, they'll
Oh,
see you directly.
You're unplugged.
Parker Insurance, he was her husband. And when we first moved here 15 years ago, he used to eat breakfast with my father. And one day I said to him, well, why do you think I should live here? And he says, oh, that's easy. He says, people come here to die after they retire, and then they forget to. So I want to say for you, just forget it and come on home.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. Up here, anyone wanna?
Hello, Mitchell. Hello, Emily. I have Mary Oliver's book with me, and I had marked When Death Comes to read today, because she speaks to my heart. But I had a backup just in case. And this speaks to my spirit. I love being in the outdoors, and I know you do too. This is called In Backwater Woods. Look, the trees are turning their own bodies into pillars of light, are giving off the rich fragrance of cinnamon and fulfillment. The long tapers of cattails are bursting and floating away over the blue shoulders of the ponds, and every pond, no matter what its name is nameless now. Every year, everything I have ever learned in my lifetime leads back to this: the fires and the black river of loss, whose other side is salvation, whose meaning none of us will ever know. To live in this world, you must be able to do three things: to love what is mortal, to hold it against your bones knowing that your own life depends on it, and when the time comes to let it go, to let it go. Love you.
Very nice.
I would like to read you a poem by Edna St. Vincent Millay called Dirge Without Music. I am not resigned to the shutting away of loving hearts in the hard ground. So it is and so it will be, for so it has been time out of mind. Into the darkness they go, the wise and the lovely. Crowned with lilies and with laurel they go. But I am not resigned. Lovers and thinkers, into the earth with you. Be one with the dull, the indiscriminate dust. A fragment of what you felt, of what you knew. A formula, a phrase remains, but the best is lost. The answers quick and keen, the honest look, the laughter, the love. They are gone. They are gone to feed the roses. Elegant and curled is the blossom. Fragrant is the blossom. I know, but I do not approve. More precious was the light in your eyes than all the roses in the world. Down, down, down into the darkness of the grave, gently they go. The beautiful, the tender, the kind. Quietly they go, the intelligent, the witty, the brave. I know, but I do not approve, and I am not resigned. Is there anyone else?
Shabbat Shalom. I love you all. I would like to sing a song. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. Freedom reigns in this place. Showers of mercy and grace pouring down every face. There is freedom. Yeshua reigns in this place. Showers of mercy and grace pouring down every face. There is freedom. I like your hat, Mitch.
Anyone else? Thank you. Oh gosh. And now, Mitchell and Emily. Now, Mitchell and Emily. It's your turn.
Excuse me. I'm gonna read it first. I just want to say how very held the two of us feel by all of you, our astonishing friends in Mexico. I'm going to read the 23rd Psalm, and it's the one from the St. James Bible, because that's the one that we kept on hearing from the time we were children, and we have the closest emotional connection to it. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. In part, this means to me that with the Lord looking over me, I shall not spend a lifetime wanting and wanting. I have what I need under the guidance of the Lord. And saying Shabbat Shalom, a little celebration of my life, begins with forgiveness. For any past disagreements or aggravation, I ask for your forgiveness and offer you mine. My life now is directed forward only as I meditate daily and peacefully await being called home. I continue healing, await in peace, supported by the prayers and positive thoughts of you and my other friends from so many cultures who have opened their hearts to me and to us. If I do look backward at all, it is only so far as to see my dear friend Sheila Turner joining with me to tackle an important issue, and we were able to get the cemetery, the infrastructure totally repaired, rebuilt, cleaned up, and now it looks like I may be the first to lie there with my parents. To celebrate my life, I start with thoughts of my parents, lakeside pioneers from the 70s, Rose and Sam Perry, who raised me with the values that sustain me, and also quietly sustain our community with their work, with their fundraisers, and the development of the Red Cross in Chapala, along with their various friends, especially Charlie Cleestat, to provide health care for the community, even those who cannot afford it. This celebration is for all the happiness I've enjoyed here, with the perfect love and perfect trust of my son Jordan, and our so many wonderful friends from the Jewish community and other cultures. Our differences disappear as our shared values emerge, and now towards the end of my life, the spiritual power we share supports me and brings me to healing and personal peace. My last months of suffering have been releasing me from a lifetime with stress and struggles. Time after time, literally snatched back from the jaws of death. And I hear Adonai calling me home, where I'll see my parents, my grandparents, and my ancestors once more. And in the fullness of time, I will also see my closest friends again, Sandwich, Mario, Teo, and my other brothers from a different mother, along with Dr. Edith with her boundless love. And bathed in these wonderful blessings, my incredible wife, Emily, will join us for eternity when our time comes. Lately, much of my time has been spent meditating and gaining understanding. One morning after a night of prayer and rest, I read the 23rd Psalm, and it slowly put so much into place. Our ancestor David, who wrote this psalm, tells us all we need to know. As a shepherd, he understands and lives with the responsibility of seeing to the every need of his sheep, choosing his path carefully to avoid overstressing his sheep. His life is quite simple. When I was 17 and 18 years old, I lived in northern Israel. I saw shepherds with their sheep all day long, guiding and protecting them. And David, after declaring Adonai his shepherd, repeats it, saying, I will not want, knowing Adonai will not deny us any legitimate need. Having recently been right through that valley overshadowed by death, I myself feel the great relief of knowing that I will feel no evil, I will fear no evil, because Adonai is with me. just as a frightened child is calmed and reassured when he senses the proximity of his parents, even though the source of danger may still be there. Without Adonai's benevolence, we would all be as helpless as sheep. David composed this psalm shortly before he purchased the land of the eventual temple site 3,000 years ago. Land, brick, and stone are not enough to build a Jewish temple. People themselves must be worthy of ascending the mountain where Adonai's presence rests. May goodness and kindness follow you all the days of your life. Goodness refers to spiritual enrichment, while kindness refers to concern for the spirituality of others. The combination expresses a desire that one will experience personal growth while not neglecting to help others, as we see in this beautiful service from Elizabeth, Baruch, Brian. And I thank all for the prayers and spiritual support. My strength has been improving, and we are hoping to be able to return home soon. So be it.
Amen. May I suggest we all stand and say the shalom and hold hands at the same time? So we're holding hands with you as we're holding hands together with an Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom Imromah, Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu, Be'al Kol Yisrael, Bimru, Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Be'al Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Be'al Kol Yisrael. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Elizabeth, thank you so much for helping to do this, and Joe for being here for behalf of the synagogue. You helped make it happen. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Well, we're going to do just a few more things before we end. You can be seated again. First of all, Brian's going to lead us in singing.
S-I-N-I, it's on page 4, right in the middle. Coming at a really good time in the service because sometimes we don't know where to look for help. And the English says, where do I look for help? My help comes from the Lord. So please join with me. S-I-N-I el ha'ari me'ayin yavu ezri. S-I-N-I el ha'ari me'ayin yavu ezri. Ezri me'im Hashem osei shamayim ba'aretz. Ezri me'im Hashem osei shamayim ba'aretz.
Thank you. And if we can rise, please, and we'll do the Elena. This prayer is an affirmation of our relationship to God and a hope for unity. We bow when we say the words V'anachnu korim, and we stand back up straight when we read Umodim.
Oleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teinu lam yotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'roshos, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adamah, shelo sam chelkeinu bahem, v'gor aleinu k'kol ha'olam, v'anachnu korim u'mishachavim u'modim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad. U'shemo
And we'll remain standing for the mourner's Kaddish. I'm going to go around and ask everyone if they have someone who's died who they want to remember, to please name that person. We'll start actually with Mitchell and Emily. Mitchell? Anyone you want to remember?
No. Donna Susnick.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Otto, Baruch. Anyone you want to remember?
Judy Rolla. Judy.
She's all right. She's all right.
Rudy Rudolph is not
This
dead.
is the.
I thought we were talking about them.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah, this is a little bit.
We're talking about Yorkshire.
Okay.
My friend Odette Provisor.
Remembrance of those who passed on.
My husband, Jerry Feldman.
Okay.
My parents and my in-laws, especially my in-laws.
Okay. Jill. Anyone?
My very good friend Bruno Bakim.
Thank you. Anne?
My grandmother and my aunt Martha.
Okay. Anybody? Larry? Anybody? Yeah? Tetta?
Elizabeth Matzi, my grandmother.
Okay.
Audrey Huffman.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And this is my father's yard site, William Kaplan. Bill. My mother gets mad, don't call him William.
Okay. Bill. Anyone else? Okay.
Yidgadam, Yidgadam, Shemei Rabban, V'alman, V'yivrat, V'yirutei, V'amlik, V'akutei, V'chayekon, V'yomekon, U'v'chaye Dekol Beit Yisroel, Ba'alav, U'zman Karev, V'yamru, Amen. Shemei Rabban, V'yivrat, V'olam, V'olam, Amaya. Yitbarak, Yishtabak, Yitbahar, Yitraman, Yitnaseh, Yitadar, Yithalel, Yitahar, Yitudashah, Shiraku, Leila, Minkol, Dirpatar, Shiratar, Tushtabatar, the Netamatar, Damiran, the Alman, the Ru, Amen. Yehesh, Lama, Rama, Ishamaya. L'chaim Olim v'Yachol Yisrael v'Yimru Amen. Osei Shalom v'Romav V'Yasei Shalom Olim v'Yachol Yisrael v'Yimru Amen.
And we finish the service, we can say together the blessing. After this, we'll do Kiddush and Motzi. And I hope Mitchell and Emily will be able to stay with us while we do that. And that will be the end of the service after we do the Motzi. But first, on the back, the top of page 8, may the one who makes peace in the heavens
grant peace to us all, to Israel, and to all the world. And let us say, Amen.
Okay, we've got some cups of wine and grape juice, and we'll get those distributed. Okay, my friends, we're going to do just the short blessing, not the whole Kiddush, just the short one.
With these frozen.
Wonderful.
I'd rather say it's a very good week.
And let's see, we have a challah. If we could bring the challah right here, closer to the camera.
Don't believe it.
You're joking?
Tacos and tequila and something.
Yay, okay. So, what we want to do here, where the cameras can catch the challah, is come close. Whoever can get close enough to touch the challah, touch the challah.
Could you bring
And if you can't touch the
bring the tray
challah,
down? Just stand up, stand up. And then
Stand up,
Bring your arms
tray
down. There
Okay.
you go.
and if you can't touch the challah, touch someone who's touching the challah.
That's good. We're good.
Anybody else want to join in here? Okay, and we'll sing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Wish you guys were here to have some challah with us.
Shabbat shalom.
Next time. Yeah, next time.
Let me just
So,
grab a piece off here and I'll just pass it around.
I think this is kind of it for us.
Can you toss off a piece of the challah liquid?
Oh, okay.
French toast.
Okay.
I just got Skype to do challah. You can put it right into the computer, it'll get it.
Okay, thanks so much, you guys. And yeah, it's been great to see you. Okay.
Be with you.
Bye-bye, guys.
Adios. Okay.